Oh, Big Red, it was brought to my attention you made a community post and you put some phone number and address in there. It's an address and phone number that this side doesn't give a fuck about. I'm not calling anywhere about you. I don't care about you. Congratulations. You got a degree. You spent years and got a degree and never used it. The only people that wanted that number are the ones that you're cozying up to that you have in your chat. They wanted that number. So give it to them. They were the ones spreading this shit behind the scenes, not me, not Grim.
Ms. Walsh, are you aware of a sex scandal that happened May 27, 2021, that included a bunch of creators going on a live panel on Natasha Cooper and claiming that there were 16 victims of Lana Oriani? Objection to all this. Yeah, sustaining. We talked on the phone for an hour and 29 minutes on August 6, 2021. I'm sorry, August 6, 2021. Do you recall what that conversation was about? Vaguely, but based on the rest of this, it was about the live that I contacted you about. So your business manager, James Angelo, didn't contact me to get into an NDA on May 31st, just days after. Sustained. Ms. Walsh, do you know about the sex scandal on YouTube? Objection, sustained. Ms. Walsh, you stated in your TPO that I admitted that I had been stalking you for over a year. How was I stalking you? Back in December? How or currently? You said in your TPO, you said she has been stalking me for a year. So this was filed January 13th, 2021. So January 13th, or I'm sorry, 22. So let's go back to 2021. If you're referring to what I just found out about back in December, I'm asking, how have I been stalking you? How did I admit to stalking you? You didn't admit what you did before you said. So then, therefore, is this an incorrect statement on her? No, Ms. Oriana, you've asked a very broad question, and this witness is entitled to answer it fully. I agree, Your Honor. Please go ahead. I didn't know until recently about December 31st, 2021 or 2020. You had told me that Andrea Powers was stalking me, and you attributed everything you had done to Andrea, and now I saw proof that you actually did it. Andrea did not. Where's that proof? I have it. The proof that I've been stalking you through Andrea Powers? Yes. Ms. Walsh, have I ever attempted to get into any of your Patreon groups or Facebook groups? Yes. I've been a member? Yes. When? I don't remember the exact date you joined. Does August 2021 ring a bell? That could be correct. So who was a member of your Facebook group and near Andrea Powers in 2020 to 2021, December 20th, 2020 to August 2021. Was I a member or was Andrea Powers a member? Well, both of you were members at one time. Was I a member of your group from December 2020 to August 2021? Was I a member during that time period? No, not unless you were under. Was I a member?
Let her answer the question, Ms. Oriani.
I can 100% attest to that because people join under fake accounts all the time. Am I aware of your name joining? No, not until you say if it's August. It was around that time.
Around what time?
August of 2021 when we were speaking.
So I didn't join your group until after speaking to you, after you reached out to me.
That I'm aware of.
Isn't that correct?
That doesn't mean we weren't.
Do you have any evidence to prove that I've been in your group prior to August 2021?
I don't have any evidence in what form.
Because I wasn't in your group.
No, Ms. Oriani, it's not an appropriate question. It's been asked and answered. And then the commentary on the end is not. And if you don't stop the commentary, I'm going to stop the questioning. Okay, you have the right to testify, but not to comment on another witness's credibility.
Ms. Walsh, isn't it true that you have a helper by the name of Melissa B?
Objection, sustained.
Ms. Walsh, have you ever kicked out Andrea Powers from your groups?
Objection, sustained.
Ms. Walsh, do you remember when we talked through Facebook application that I had no idea that you lived in Denver, Colorado?
I'm objecting to lack of foundation. Lack of foundation, and it also calls for hearsay because while it would be a statement of a party opponent if offered by the plaintiff, it's being offered for the truth of the matter asserted by the defendant. Therefore, it's not a party opponent offering it. So that objection is sustained.
Ms. Walsh, have you ever been a member of Fight for a Family nonprofit organization?
Objections on this. Sustained.
Ms. Walsh, to promote your YouTube channel on Maros, do you use any other social media applications?
Objections on this. Sustained.
Ms. Walsh, have you ever made posts about Ms. Oriani?
Objection on this. I'm going to allow that question.
I can't remember the exact dates, but I believe there was one post about you in a private group, well, about your organization as it relates to the Chris Watts case. In evidence that I sent over, I'd like to show the witness. A post, may I approach?
Ms. Oriani, can you tell me what you are referring to?
Yes, I can tell you this will be BB, but really the number that's on that Dropbox.
Which file is it in?
Should be in. It's exhibit on the 832-2.
Is that in the order exhibit?
Yes.
Sorry, say it again.
Yeah, 832_2.
Just to worry about the board, this appears to be a printout of a screenshot of text messages between two people.
It's
Well, that would go to the authentication, and I think that objection is premature. Let's see what the witness says when it's offered to her for her authentication. Ms. Oriani, start with the authentication.
is that a message between on your?
First of all, it's do you recognize
Do
it?
you recognize that screenshot?
No, but I have so many messages, it looks like it's my account.
From the Unmasked Patreon Lounge.
Possibly.
I'd like to submit with the order that you want for her authentication.
You'd like to what?
I would like to submit a couple more documents to go
Well,
with.
you need to establish who this person is.
Yeah, I was asking her to read this.
Is that no, not until it's admitted.
Okay.
Who is Unmasked Patreon Lounge? Is that you?
No, that's Miss Walsh's.
Well, I haven't heard that.
Miss Walsh is Unmasked Patreon Lounge, your Facebook group.
I apologize, just so I'm looking at the correct exhibit. I'm looking at something that looks like the top is a text message or a message from somebody named Kim Taylor Payton. I don't see anything about Patreon Lounge. Am I looking at the correct thing? I'm looking at 832_2.
Yeah, I'm asking her if that's from this group that she has.
I have multiple groups. It's possible it is. I don't know. There's no.
Ms. Oriani, let me clarify. So you think because this person that sent the text message was with a group that the plaintiff belongs to, that it's going to be allowed in? I'm going to sustain that objection. This is hearsay. This Kim Taylor Pate, I haven't seen the exhibit. That's what I wrote down. That person needs to be here, not.
There's a message that's underneath it that Miss Walsh is speaking to.
No, that it's inappropriate. I'm not going to allow that. There needs to be a proper foundation.
Miss Walsh, how do you promote Unmasked YouTube?
Objection asked and answered, and objection to relevance.
Okay, well, I don't ask and answer it. I would allow relevance. Why is that relevant, Ms. Oriani?
Because she just did. She has multiple social media avenues that she promotes Unmasked, the YouTube channel.
Okay.
And within those, I was asking her if she made these statements.
I'm not going to allow that.
Okay.
We're going down a rabbit hole.
That's fine. Ms. Walsh, again, how did you say that you knew Ms. Oriani and myself?
That's asked and answered, Ms. Oriani. I'm becoming impatient. For the record, it's now 12:15. We still have two other witnesses to go. We were set for, it says 1 hour hearing. I was prepared to go 3 hours, and we're now at that mark. So I'm going to ask you to speed things up, cut to the chase here, because we still have a redirect and 2 other witnesses to get to.
Isn't it in fact that Ms. Oriani blocked you on December 21st, 2021, not the other way around, Ms. Walsh?
Your objection, this doesn't have any relevance to the grounds that the court has to consider.
I'm going to allow that question.
No, that's false. I blocked you. In fact, you talked about it on your live that you pulled down and you did cry about it.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
She had a live broadcast after I blocked her and she discussed that fact and you did cry at the end.
Where was this live at?
Hold on, don't interrupt, Ms. Oriani. You've asked a question, and I'm asking to hear the end of the question.
And at the end of the live, she started crying and people were comforting her in the chat. And you said that you thought I was your friend and you have pulled that live. It is no longer public.
So you, Ms. Walsh, have all these copies of all these other videos, but the one that I state that you blocked me on crying, that one's nowhere to be found.
You don't get a comment on credibility here.
Ms. Walsh, are you aware of how many videos I've done on YouTube?
Objection, that's sustained.
Ms. Walsh, I'm still not clear on how you're in imminent danger of me.
That's a question for me to answer.
Okay. Ms. Walsh, do you consider yourself a limited purpose public figure?
Objection. She's asking Ms. Walsh to comment on a legal standard that's going to minor factors.
Sustained.
Ms. Walsh, are you aware that I was in OK and People magazine?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
Ms. Walsh, isn't it true that you filed a temporary restraining order because I was talking about your business associate, James Angelo, having a PPO on him and filed October 25th, 2022?
Objection, that has been asked and can't be answered.
And I find that it's very limited on relevance, and it has been asked and answered. Let's move on, Ms. Oriani.
Ms. Walsh, have I ever contacted you via phone
Through Facebook Messenger, yes.
after you contacted me?
Are you asking me if you've ever called me on the phone?
Correct.
Yes, you have. Through Facebook Messenger.
Did you pick up the phone?
A lot of times I did not.
Are you aware that we have had over 10 hours of phone conversations, Ms. Walsh?
Yes, at the end.
Ms. Walsh, didn't you ask me to get into an NDA with you?
Objection, relevance. And also, I object to the form of the question. I don't know what getting into it.
As to the form of the question, I'm going to sustain it. I don't have any type of time period. I know there's been some discussion about an NDA already brought up. I think we fleshed that out fully. I'm going to have Ms. Oriani move on now.
Can I rephrase that question, Your Honor?
You can try. I don't know if I'm going to allow it, but I'll give you an opportunity to
rephrase it. Why would you need an NDA to speak to anybody, Ms. Walsh?
After that, I'm gonna sustain. That's way too broad.
Ms. Walsh, you testify that you haven't been putting out content due to this causing you stress, correct? I would like to submit into evidence CC, social blade unmasked, information.
Okay, well, you're not allowed to submit it into evidence until you first present it to the
Can I
witness.
present and approach the witness with a document?
Yes, you may.
You direct me to where to find this for you. Where is that in your document? It should be one of the first ones. Where's the Iowa Center? Let's see. I can just look at this.
Ms. Walsh, have you seen that document before? Or see that website before?
Yes.
And can you state for the record what the name of that website is?
Socialblade.com.
And as a YouTuber, that keeps track of our production.
Well, actually, it keeps track of a lot of things, but it keeps track of the views and then subscribers specifically.
Okay, does it also keep track of when you go live and post a video?
I'm not sure. It shows your last.
Here, I'm going to object. I'm going to tell you right now to this exhibit because it is what appears to me to be a document from a website showing analytics about YouTube channels. It is hearsay, and I object to the document or to people testifying about its contents.
All right, there's a hearsay objection. Do you believe that it meets an exception to the hearsay rule? Ms. Oriani, if so, which one?
I do agree that it meets the exception due to the fact that this is the website that we as YouTubers use to grade our production. But it's fine if I can rephrase the question.
The court will sustain the hearsay objection. That exhibit is not to be referred to or used.
That's perfect. Ms. Walsh, when's the last time you produced a video?
Objection, moments.
Well, actually, I think it is relevant. This witness has testified that this has caused her emotional distress and she's not blogging like she used to. So I don't know that the question helps the defense, but I'm going to overrule that objection. When's the last time you?
December.
Okay. And let me finish that. When's the last time you, I guess, posted a video?
It was December, end of December.
Okay. Why?
Because that's exactly when all this started up.
December of what?
This year.
This
That's all
year
this
hasn't
started up.
happened. This is
December, sorry, I keep doing that, apologize. December of 2021 is my last video, public.
When was your video before December 2021?
I have no idea without going and looking it up.
You have no idea when your last video before December 2021 was?
No,
Isn't it because you haven't been producing content, Ms. Walsh, since
Brianna,
August?
you have to, when you ask a question, I realize now that, the adrenaline gets going, but you have to wait for an answer. Because otherwise that's just not good manners. To the best of your recollection, when's your last posting before December of 2021?
It was in the fall. I actually had really high views because I was covering Gabby Petito. I had over 100,000 views on those videos.
So is that going to get to go missing? Your call?
Objection, relevance.
She's answered your
Okay,
question.
so you produced a video in the fall, and then you didn't produce anything. So September, October, November, December. So for 4 months prior to your last posting, you didn't post anything, which would have nothing to do with.
Incorrect. I had multiple videos on Gabby Petito. I don't remember the specific dates, but I know that it was through the fall, and then my last interview was, I think, December 17th, 18th-ish, something around there. I'd have to look it up.
Ms. Walsh, don't you go live every Wednesday in your Patreon group?
Objection, relevance.
I think it goes to impeachment as to the last statement.
Can I give you background on that?
Well, you're going to need to, but answer that question first.
Yes,
And then you can explain.
yes.
So then it would be a dishonest statement that you haven't been going live.
Incorrect. I didn't say live. You said, when did I post a video? I posted my last public video. That's a different thing. That's not public YouTube. That's a private membership only group. And because I haven't posted any videos, I've lost so much money over this. I can't not show up to those on Wednesday because it's the only income that I now have. But I did cancel quite a few of those over this. And I did lose members.
Over what, Ms. Walsh?
Having to cancel these, who knows?
Over. So none of this has to do with the fact that there was a sex scandal within your team that you told me about.
I'm objecting to the question about whatever this sex.
Well, she can answer that question.
I would have no idea of why each person left when I have hundreds of people.
So then
I can tell you that I'm not putting anything out, so I don't really blame them for getting frustrated and leaving.
I'm confused by the answer, Ms. Walsh.
Well, you're stuck with it.
So Ms. Walsh, what you're saying here today is that you were aware of a sex scandal within your team that caused people to leave your group?
I'm objecting because that calls for speculation.
Yeah, on that note, the objection is sustained. She said she doesn't know why people left her group, but she did testify that she has only made 2 videos in the past 4 months and that she has lost a lot of money as a result. I don't think that goes in your favor, Ms. Oriani.
Well, I'm trying to show that it's actually not to do with me. It's to
Then
do
you're
with.
going to need to do it in a different way
Okay.
because you're stuck with the answers she gave.
Okay, so Ms. Walsh,
I'm going to give you 10 more minutes and then I'm going to cut you off, Ms. Oriani.
Ms. Walsh, on December 28th, you put that there was a live, December 29th, 2021, Lana went live on a broadcast on her channel, Truth and Transparency, and spoke with me for 5 hours. And then you said that there was a woman by the name of Stephanie on my panel. Are you aware that Stephanie, who worked for you, has a PPO out and filed on 10/25/2021 ex parte for a year?
You've lost me. One thought per question.
Okay.
Okay, you're trying to introduce evidence improperly right now, Ms. Oriani. So you may ask her questions.
Okay. Ms. Walsh, so your testimony here today is that the decline with your channel has nothing to do with the fact that you didn't have anybody to help you make content.
I mean,
I object to the form of the question. There hasn't been any such testimony, but she's asking it as if not.
Correct. That objection is sustained.
Okay. Ms. Walsh, you put in your TPO that I went to a tire store to get a receipt. Why did I go to the tire store to get a receipt?
I can't tell you why you did something, but you can ask me. I mean, I don't. Why did you say on the live? Why did you decide to do it?
Well, isn't it true that I went to the tire store to get a receipt?
Ms. Oriani, no, that's an improper question already.
Okay.
You're asking her to speculate as to your motive. So you may testify, but it's not a proper question of this witness.
Let me rephrase that question, Your Honor. Did you tell me that James Angelo was a sociopath?
Objection.
Sustained.
Ms. Walsh, why did you ask me to get into an NDA?
Objection. And lack of foundation.
Sustained, and the court has previously ruled on that.
I would like to approach the witness with a document. Our conversations, can you authenticate?
I'm objecting to Oriani testifying about what this is.
Yeah, go ahead and show plaintiff counsel and hand the exhibit over.
Okay.
And then the first question is, do you recognize this exhibit? How do you recognize this exhibit? What is this exhibit?
Those are messages between me and Ms.
Please
Walsh.
stop talking about it.
What is this exhibit marked, Ms. Oriani?
Double I.
Ms. Oriani, you've got 5 minutes left.
Yes.
Ms. Walsh, in December of 2021, weren't you telling me that you didn't have time for me and the drama because you were busy making content?
Are you talking about these screenshots?
Obviously, this is a second.
Ms. Oriani, no, I cautioned you, Ms. Oriani. The first question is, do you recognize this? How do you recognize this is the second question. And then the third question is, what is this? And then you may start asking questions about this if it's been introduced and I find that it's relevant. But until those three things happen, it's not even appropriate to ask a question about it. You've got multiple pages there. I don't know.
This is they got messed up, so I have to submit this over here so that they can see it.
What are you showing them? What is the
I thought
exhibit number?
I thought that I gave her the right ones. And
Okay, so is this double I?
I'm looking at a piece of.
This is actually C.
Excuse me, C at the top and 5 at the bottom.
It's page 5 of C. Sorry about that, Your Honor. I gave her the wrong one. I do apologize. Ms. Walsh, are you looking at a screenshot of mine and your conversation in December? Yes. Can you read off what it says when I asked you if you checked the live out that I did?
I object.
What grounds?
I object because Ms. Oriani is asking Ms. Walsh to look at a document that hasn't been really fully described, that hasn't been admitted into evidence as an exhibit, and is asking for people out from it, which sounds a lot like asking for hearsay.
Ms. Oriani, please establish foundation.
Ms. Walsh, is that mine and yours communication in December of 2021 via Facebook Messenger application?
Yes.
Is it a,
Can you read the date off that's on there?
December 3rd, 2021.
Can you authenticate that as conversation between me and you?
Looks familiar. Yes.
okay, now what is your objection?
My objection was principally to Ms. Oriani asking Ms. Walsh to read a file from the exhibit.
Okay, well, I have no idea what this conversation is, but it sounds like conversation between the two parties. So I think it fits a hearsay exception. I don't know how it might be relevant other than we have bantered around December of 2021 quite a bit today. So I'm inclined to allow it in.
And also, I'm sorry, to supplement my objection, my notes show that like the other exhibits that Ms. Oriani has approached with, none have been tendered and none have been admitted. And I don't have a copy. I did take a look, but I don't have a copy.
All right, well, I'm going to allow the admission of this particular document. It sounds like a very short exhibit. Ask one last question and your time is up, Ms. Oriani.
Ms. Walsh, can you read what you wrote back when I asked you about looking at a video of mine?
I say I haven't even watched your live yet driving.
Thank you. Go ahead and hand that to me. The court will accept exhibit or page 5 of exhibit C. That is the only document that has been admitted by the defense. All right, if you've noticed, my clerk left for lunch about 40 minutes ago. I'm not allowed to keep her through. Folks, I have a docket this afternoon. I have a temporary protection order at 1:30, and then I have a case at 2, and then another case at 3:30. So the short of it is we're running out of time. So I'm prepared to give the parties up until 1:30 to be heard. So based on that, do you have any redirect with your client?
No, Your Honor, we'll move on to the next.
I have a few more questions that have been raised that I'm curious about, Ms. Walsh. I try not to play too active of a role, but I am curious about the posting of videos. Okay, you said that you had posted a video regarding Gabby Petito. How many videos did you post?
I believe there's 2.
Okay.
Actually, I'm sorry, there's 3.
And is there any type of subscription agreement where you are required in exchange for the subscription to post a particular amount of videos for your subscribers?
In my page, my private membership group, yes.
What are you expected to produce?
I'm expected to do early release and
This is not in the upstairs or downstairs hallway or ladies' room, and I can't see her immediately outside of the courthouse from the upstairs or downstairs window. Ms. King, who I think has been hanging out with her, advises that she can't reach her on the phone.
All right. Well, what is your request then?
Well, you can call Ms. King first and see if Ms. Abeda comes back. It appears to me at this point that she's disregarded the court's order to remain in the courthouse until she's called to testify.
All right. Well, before I issue a warrant for her arrest or do anything that drastic, I believe Ms. Beda was the one that did not feel well, correct?
she has cancer.
She doesn't feel well in the sense that she is a cancer patient. I don't think there was a concern about her feeling any particular type of way.
Okay. Well, I'm going to check with court security when they return. Again, we've been plowing through the lunch hour on this case. So let's go ahead and call your next witness in, and that should get court security back here.
Thank you. We'll call Sarah King.
All right. All right, ma'am. You come on up. And raise your right hand. Under the penalty of perjury, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right. Let's start off with your name.
Sarah King.
Is that Sarah with an H or no H?
With an H.
With an H. And King, common spelling?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. King, how do you know Ms. Oriani?
I actually met her through true crime. I was into true crime, and I watched her for summer.
So that's how you knew her as, so to speak, a fan?
I don't consider myself a fan.
Or do you consider yourself in relation to?
I'm as true crime.
No, what,
I'm a friend of hers.
Okay.
Yes.
A personal friend.
Yeah, I would say so.
But you met through the True Crime channel?
Yes.
And that channel, is that called Truth and Transparency?
Yes.
And do you live here in Colorado? Where do you live?
I live in Iowa.
Why are you in town writing?
I came in town to see her and she.
When did you arrive?
Friday.
And how do you know, when you say Jamie, do you mean Jamie Aveda?
Yes.
How do you know Jamie Aveda?
Do the same thing through true crime, truth and transparency.
Does Miss Aveda live here?
I do not know. Yes, I believe she does, but I don't know if this is her permanent residence. Yes, she's on, yeah.
Okay. Where are you staying while you're here?
The Broomfield Inn. That's what I believe.
What town does Miss Aveda live in? Do you know where Miss Aveda is staying? Do you know where Miss Oriani is staying currently while she's in town?
With Jamie.
So Miss Oriani is staying with Miss Aveda while she's in town here. Okay. Miss King, I want to talk about yesterday late afternoon. What were you doing around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon?
Jamie and I were, I don't even know, I was helping her serve papers. She owns a business.
Jamie owns a business? What's the business?
I do not know.
Okay. So I guess what I want to ask you is what's the connection between her business and the fact that she was serving papers?
I do not know. I was hired by her.
You were hired by Miss Aveda to do what?
She served papers.
How much did she pay you?
We haven't settled that yet.
So she hired you to serve papers and did not tell you how much she was going to pay you? Did she give you papers to serve?
Did she give that to me?
Did she give you papers to serve? What were the papers?
I actually have it on my phone.
Would it refresh your memory to take a look at your phone?
Yeah, it's out in, if you'd like me to go get it, or you can, it's out in the
I'll go get it. What does it look like?
It's black, it's like.
May I refresh your memory? Was that your phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Did Miss Aveda give you physical copies of the papers, or did she just give you a picture on your phone?
No, I'm the one that took, I'm the one that served them. She didn't give me copies. I'm the one that took pictures.
Are you a professional process server?
No, ma'am.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a manager at Walmart.
Got it. Where were you when Miss Aveda gave you the physical copies of the papers?
I was with her.
Where were you when Miss Aveda gave you the physical copies?
What do you mean, where was I as in?
Geographically.
I have no idea.
You don't
Well,
know.
it would be at the residence of, no, I don't know what town I was in, what city I was in, I'm not from here.
Were you at Miss Aveda's house?
No.
Whose house were you at?
You were out, we were in the vehicle.
You were in a car? Where was the car? Was it near Miss Aveda's house?
No.
Was it Miss Aveda's car?
Yes.
Okay, so you were in Miss Aveda's car, and Miss Aveda hired you as a process server, is that right?
That's home.
With no agreement about money?
No, ma'am.
And do you say that's common because that's happened to you a lot before?
No, ma'am.
Have you been able to pull up the papers in your phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who are the names of the people that are on the papers to be served?
Sean Walsh.
Okay, any others?
No, ma'am.
So you just had one document to serve?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me about serving it. How did you get to where you needed to go to serve it?
I was with Miss Faye.
Did she drive you? Okay. And where did she drive to?
To the location of the Walshes.
And when you say to the location of the Walshes, you pointed at Miss Walsh with your glasses. Why is that?
Because I assume that's Miss Walsh.
Took her home?
I assume that's where she lives. I did not see her.
Okay. So you and Miss Aveda went to a place you assumed to be Miss Walsh's home with one document for Sean Walsh to serve. Is that correct? Okay. What happened when you got to the home?
She pulled up in front. She didn't find the document. She was looking for it. She found it. I went to the door. I knocked. Rang the doorbell. Nobody responded. Knocked probably 3 or 4 times. Nobody responded. I then put it in on the door, took a picture of it, and we left.
And that was just the one document for Sean Walsh?
Yes.
There was not another document for
No,
any
ma'am.
others?
That's it.
did you do after you placed the document on the floor?
I got back in the vehicle and left.
Where'd you go?
Back to where Beta lives.
You mean harass?
Yes.
Your Honor,
Excuse me,
objection. What's your objection under the rules of evidence? Relevancy on this? Well, I'm gonna overrule that objection. The allegation here, is that after I quashed that warrant back on the 28th of February, that you caused a third party to violate the order of protection by serving a quashed warrant onto the plaintiff. Now, that goes directly to the second prong. And so I'm going to allow this testimony to continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. King, how did you, what's your understanding of what valid service of papers is or documents?
No, that's not relevant.
Well, I think it is, Your Honor, and I can tell you why.
Hurry up. Why?
Because of the way that the documents were left, obviously wasn't proper service of process, and since she was hired as a professional process server by Ms. Abeda, I'm wondering if Ms. Abeda
Any
instructed her.
documents. I think that's the question then. I think that is the question, and you may ask that question.
Is what?
Did Ms. Abeda instruct her on how to, but I don't care what her actual personal knowledge is.
Did Ms. Abeda tell you how to quote unquote serve the document that you served?
Not in the beginning, no. I went, rang the doorbell. I assumed I was gonna ask, is this a residence in Chamonix? He was available and that I was serving papers. Upon not being able to, she said, go ahead and put them, that's why I took pictures, that I posted them on their door.
When you say when you put them on the door, did you put more than one thing on the door? Just
No, this is what was on the door, I have all the pictures.
you're just calling it them singular though?
The document.
Just one document?
Yes, it's just one document.
Okay.
It's one document.
Can I see the document on your phone? Please?
There's two different pictures of it.
That's all I have for Ms. King, Your Honor. I'd like to call Ms. Abeda next. If I can.
Well,
I apologize.
we still have some cross-examination. Ms. Ariana, do you have any questions of this witness?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Very briefly, go ahead.
Ms. King, did I hire you to go serve papers to the Walsh residence? No further questions?
Well, I didn't hear the answer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
No, I'm sorry.
All right, you are done. Thank you.
And Your Honor, we would like to call Ms. Abeda next.
All right.
Actually, Your Honor, I have a question. Am I able to submit her picture into evidence that she showed?
You would have if you had done it before she left the stand, assuming that you had it in paper form. I'm not going to seize her cell phone. All right, ma'am, come on up to the witness stand, please.
Your Honor, I spoke with my attorney,
And he said that I'm not under subpoena.
No, at this point, you're under court order, so come on up here. A subpoena is a court order, but I ordered you directly in court personally.
I was
Because
just trying
this,
to get the picture that we took of the house and the subpoena.
this isn't your case, you're only a witness here, okay?
That's all I was
All
saying about what I have to do with this case.
Yeah, well, we'll find out, Miss Abeda. All right, please raise your right hand. Under the penalty of perjury, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about these subpoenas. It doesn't matter about pictures on the door. None of that shit matters. Nobody's threatening you. Nobody fucking cares. You and your fucking tiny home. You know, I used to model in my day, so you're just like a high school graduate housewife. I'm not gonna obsess over you. I think I actually have the life that you've been bragging that you have and you don't. I think that maybe some bisexual people are having some weird things going on, and I'm not bisexual, so I'm not obsessing over anybody. And like I said, my last life, I used to model in my day. 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 I used to model in my day.
For my love, love's going to leave me. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts.
Missed it.
Hello. Right, if you want to watch the rest, you have to go over to James's channel and just click the link. It's in the description. The best part of that entire live was when I'll let Anyanka explain it to you.
God. When she answers the question and Lena's like, I didn't understand that answer. And the judge is like, I don't even remember now. I missed it. So mad. Deal with it. It's pretty much deal with it.
No, it was well, you're stuck with it.
That.
Sorry. Oh my god, Empress Snuffles is kicking off. Are you kidding me? I don't want another strike. She's already struck me once before. Wait, want to hear the end? Oh.
I know. We want to hear the end too.
Well, we're waiting for Empress Snuffles to put the next part up.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll do that.
Okay. Well, I think To the Moon is going live now. Can someone drop To the Moon's link in the chat for us? Okay, right. We're going to go over and go over to Moon's channel. So we'll see you all guys soon. Bye.